Welcome back everybody, Massive here. What we're going to be playing this time is a wonderful game called The Last Case of John Morley. It is a detective game that I saw pop up on Steam. From what I can tell, it looks quite interesting, and there's a little bit about the game. Basically puts us in the shoes of a detective called John Morley in a gritty noir atmosphere of the 1940s. After spending several months recovering in hospital from injuries sustained during his last case, Morley returns to his office only to be visited by the Lady Margaret Fordside, an English countess haunted by a tragic past. She engages him to investigate the unsolved murder of her daughter, which occurred on a fateful night 20 years ago. The police have closed the case by arresting scapegoats, but the Countess is convinced that the real killer remains at large. What begins as a quiet look into an old case becomes a haunting investigation into forgotten places and long hidden truths that refuse to stay buried. Sounds quite interesting, so we're gonna check it out. In the depths of darkness, he awoke with a start, heart pounding in his chest, cold earth beneath him, unfamiliar and damp. Darkness surrounded him, thick and oppressive, kind that swallowed every sound except his own ragged breathing. He tried to gather his thoughts. They were scattered, lost in a fog of confusion and fear. Where was he? How had he gotten here? His legs trembled as he forced himself to stand, the weight of an unknown terror pressing down on him. Somewhere, in the depths of the trees, he could hear it. Something was following him. Time buries all truths beneath shadows, but the past always has a way of clawing its way back to the surface, demanding to be heard no matter the cost. Huh.
Where am I? I know it's following me. I can feel it. I shouldn't have taken such a risk.
It's quite eerie. Oh god, I can hear
Sound.
it.
It's coming from the river.
Oh, that was blood? That was blood?
If it catches me, it will show no mercy. I know it's hidden somewhere in this forest. I should be able to see its light soon.
Oh.
At last, I can gather my strength and plan how to face that monstrous thing.
I feel like I'm getting a jump scared. Oh my god. Holy oh boy. Last day in the hospital, the piercing light of the morning sun stirred John from his restless sleep. For months, strange nightmares had plagued him, and even the strongest sedatives couldn't dull the weird visions that haunted his mind. Another day in this wretched hospital, his wounds still ached, but he felt no regret. Despite the accident, he'd brought the culprit of those ghastly crimes to justice. After all, isn't that the duty of any good private detective?
The name's John Morley, private detective, and today is a momentous day. After enduring the most exquisite tortures at the hands of those blasted nurses, and being pumped full of enough medicine to fell an ox, today I'm finally free. Who would have thought that the case of the Red Shoes murder would end the way it did? A stormy night, soaked to the skin, wrestling that brainless killer on a rooftop. Then a slip and a 5-story plunge.
It appears you're awake at last. We had considerable difficulty rousing you earlier this morning, so I deemed it best to let you rest a while longer. I bring you good news. The latest test results are favourable, and the doctor has authorised your discharge. You are now officially ready to go. I have placed your belongings on the table. Oh, and a lady stopped by this morning with some clothes from the dry cleaner.
Nightmares?
I've been having nightmares.
The doctor has prescribed some medication that should help address any residual effects. This should assist in alleviating your nightmares.
Okay.
My belongings? I thought everything was already in the room.
There are a few valuables and some coins we kept for safekeeping. They are in the box on the table.
So I'm better now.
Yes, you are much improved. Both your physical and psychological assessments have been satisfactory, and there are no impediments to your returning to your normal life.
Lovely.
A woman brought my clothes from the dry cleaner. Was it Penny?
I couldn't say. She arrived quite early, before my shift began. I've placed the garments in the wardrobe to keep them from getting wrinkled. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other patients to attend to. I wish you all the best.
Okay. All right. Okay, so our medical discharge. Surgical intervention on the prefrontal cortex and subsequent recovery. Patient's physical and psychological evaluations have returned satisfactory results. Well, that's good. No impairments. And we have been prescribed chlorpromazine. Huh. Okay.
That's me, the bloodhound Morley. Story of my life. Nearly broke. Blimey, it's nearly noon. I must have lost track of time in those blasted nightmares.
Do I got medication to take? Did she say I had medication to take?
I better get dressed. The hospital gown that ties in the back doesn't exactly scream professional. Trench coat and fedora hat. Every detective's must have.
She said there was some clothes in here.
Looks brand new. The collar's pristine. Well-structured shoulders, nicely padded. Gives off an air of authority. Keeps the crooks wary and catches the ladies' eyes. These do a fine job of hiding any belly. Can't complain about that. I usually use the Windsor knot. I should get myself a pair of derbies. Or brogues. They're much more comfortable. Besides, if I slipped, it was because of those damned hard soles. So the mystery woman who took my clothes to the cleaners was Penny after all. Seems she's still got a soft spot for me. Could there be a chance I might win her over?
$2. I suppose it's the 1940s, but $2. Hey, that's a bit expensive, no? We got medication?
There's notes from Penny, my secretary. She must have left it here a few days ago while I was still under observation.
John, I'm awfully sorry, but I just can't keep going like this. You've been laid up in the hospital for ages, and I've been left skint with no wages coming in for months now. Before, with the state you were in, I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I thought it best to let you get better in peace, but the other day, Dr. Fauna rang and said they were finally going to let you out. So I figured it was time to tell you. I haven't been to the office in a month, and believe me, I'll miss Hawthorne Street and that old mouldy brick building of ours. I've got to move on. And you know, even before the accident, you still owed me 3 months' pay. Peter and I are planning to get married, and I need some stability. I hope you understand. I've left my key under the doormat. I've paid the water and electric bills, so those are in your hands now. Goodbye, John. I wish you all the luck in the world. P.S. A few days ago, an older woman came by asking for you. I told her you might be back at the office this afternoon. She seemed quite eager to have a word with you. Penny. Huh.
Damn it, Penny. I don't blame her, though. I'm a right mess. I've managed to lose the only 2 things that kept me grounded. Her sound advice, always spot on, and the faint hope that she might dump Peter and give me a chance. I'd better hurry up. Just like Penny says in her note, I might have a new client this afternoon. And with the way things are going, I can't afford to let that slip away.
Here for my medication? No? Okay.
All right, let's get moving. Today's the first day of the rest of my life.
What a very dreary and dreadful hospital. John Morley's office. At last, back to the streets and the cold comforts of foggy old London. Chimneys filled the air with the familiar tang of coal dust, while the rhythmic hum of the small industries in Whitechapel, Stepney and Southwark rang in his ears like a symphony. Soon he'd be seated in his cluttered, dusty office once more, ready for the next case, perhaps finishing off some forgotten bottle of whiskey tucked away in a drawer. In the morning, the irreplaceable loss of his assistant, Penny.
Back again. Feels like stepping into a forgotten paradise.
Alright. Very,
Everything's got that same old charm, and yet feels oddly new.
very dark.
This hospital stint's given me a bit of a new outlook. Maybe I'll take it a shade easier from now on, sticking to cases that don't demand a trip to the morgue.
London's most sinful secret, the naughty cat. Huh. there's my mat, I'm guessing.
Here they are. Penny's keys. Just like it says in her note.
We're here.
Penny's desk. I ought to give her a ring and try to sweet talk her into coming back. If this new client brings in some decent dough, maybe I could settle what I owe her and use a little charm to win her over.
I don't think that's a smart idea.
So this is Peter. That smug grin's got "punch me" written all over it.
The murder weapon from the cadaver collector case. Nasty business, that one. Even the coppers missed it. The slant on the letter E. That's what gave away the typist in the black letters case. My files. Cases, clients, debts. Too many debts. Far too many.
This case is worth its weight in gold. Everything you need for a portable lab.
Portable lab, what the hell?
The umbrella with a bullet hole. Souvenir from the marksman case. Nearly lost my hat on that one. This one's a favorite. The jealous lover solved everything with a few blows from an ashtray. Brutal, but effective.
The case of the Red Shoes murder. One of the most complicated I've faced. Finally. Case closed.
My desk, strangely tidy. Normally it's buried under papers, notes, bits of evidence. Penny must have wanted to leave everything spick and span before she walked out on me.
Another one of my cards. But this one has my last name circled.
Why is there a piece of floor on the outside of the building?
Amazing how this little gadget can reveal the devil in the details.
The drawer. It's locked. But there doesn't seem to be a keyhole. The Scarlet Page. I trust Penny didn't go snooping through my things while I was away.
Oh,
Oh, my apologies, madam. I didn't hear you come in. I was a bit distracted.
Good afternoon, Mr. Morley. I trust your assistant informed you of my visit as promised.
My apologies. I was rather engrossed and didn't notice your arrival. To whom do I owe the honour of this meeting?
Lady Margaret Fordside, the 4th Countess of Bloomsbury.
Lady Margaret, could you tell me what brings you here today? How can I assist you?
I shall endeavour to be as candid as possible. 20 years ago, when my daughter was just 18, she was brutally murdered. It happened at our family estate, Bloomsbury Manor. someone slipped into the house unnoticed, and upon reaching her room, delivered 5 fatal stab wounds to her chest, lungs, and heart. The police, eager to close the case, hastily blamed and condemned 2 violent thieves who clearly had nothing to do with her death. The investigation was closed, and justice was never served. I am prepared to offer you £30,000 if you take on this case, and a further £30,000 if you can solve it and bring the true killer to light. Tell me, Mr. Morley, will you accept this case?
I understand your distress, Lady Fordside. But before I commit to anything, might I trouble you with a few questions?
By all means, Mr. Morley. Ask whatever you must.
A case that's been cold for 20 years. You certainly don't make it easy for me, Lady Margaret. What made you decide to seek out a detective now?
For over 2 decades, I've fought tirelessly to have the case reopened, to prove that the real murderer escaped justice. But all in vain. Neither solicitors nor well-meaning police friends, nor even journalists hungry for a dark story have managed to uncover anything. Then one day, I read about your success in solving the case of the Red Shoes killer. Regrettably, I also learned of the unfortunate incident that left you hospitalized with grievous injuries. On the advice of your secretary, Miss Penny, I waited patiently for your recovery. And now, here I am.
Tell me about the men the police arrested. Why are you so certain they weren't guilty?
2 days after the murder, the police arrested a pair of violent thieves who were terrorizing the county at the time. Though they swore their innocence in my daughter Elodie's death, their criminal record completely undermined their defense. Seizing the opportunity, the police locked them away for their other crimes, and the case was closed. But what has always struck me as suspicious is that nothing was stolen on the night my Elodie was killed. If those thieves were truly the culprits, why would they murder her and then leave without taking a single piece of silver? It doesn't add up, Mr. Morley.
Tell me about Bloomsbury Manor. Do you still reside there?
After Elodie's death, I abandoned the estate. I couldn't bear to remain there, to live within those walls. Even now, when I visit the manor, it still feels as though I can hear her footsteps echoing through the halls, her voice humming that old melody, the delusions of an old woman who has mourned her daughter for far too long. Mr. Morley, no mother should ever have to bury her child. Should you accept the case, Bloomsbury Manor would likely be the best place to begin the investigation. I shall not impede your work, as I now reside at Bedford Square, in the heart of the city.
It sounds like it's going to be haunted. I don't like that.
Tell me, were there any witnesses? Did anyone see or hear anything?
It happened at midnight. The house was practically empty at the time, with only a few servants and a guest who was sleeping in the west wing. I was the only one who might have heard something, as my room was next to hers. Unfortunately, I had taken a sleeping draught and fell into a deep slumber. It is a decision I shall regret for the rest of my days.
Well, I believe I have all the information I need to get started. I accept the case, and will begin the investigation immediately.
I'm pleased to hear that. My butler will bring you the £30,000 tomorrow morning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have matters to attend to. Once you uncover the culprit, contact me at once, and I shall promptly deliver the remaining £30,000. Please, Mr. Morley, unravel this harrowing mystery that has tormented me for so long.
£30,000 in the 1940s seems like a very insane amount of money. Shadows from the past. The visit from Countess Margaret Fordside was just what John needed. A case with all the right ingredients to stir his detective's instincts. An unsolved murder from 20 years ago, abandoned by the police in their incompetence, and a generous reward waiting at the end. What more could a man want on his first day back? The journey to Bloomsbury Manor passed without incident, though the rough, neglected road, ravaged by years of rain and wind, made for an uncomfortable ride. He arrived under the cover of night. The place was quiet, like the ruins of an old tomb, forgotten and forsaken.
As I made my way through the dense forest path, a haunting silence enveloped the air. It was as though the very night of the crime still lingered here, shrouded in an eerie calm. The manor stood before me, its facade as inscrutable as the shadows that danced in the moonlight. Every step I took felt like a step deeper into the heart of a mystery that refused to be forgotten.
Why not leave the car on?
Not a sound. The stillness feels heavy, like it's hiding something.
Westland Asylum. Place of hope and healing. Westland Asylum, we believe that the path to recovery begins with compassion, understanding, and the most advanced techniques of mental health care. Our institution offers a tranquil haven for those seeking respite from the trials of the mind. Huh. Please tell me this is not a mental asylum. Your Ladyship, I write to you on behalf of the Westland Society of Fine Arts regarding the exhibition currently on display at our gallery, which features several works by your daughter, Miss Elodie Forsyth. While we fully appreciate the remarkable talent and artistry evident in her work, it is with great regret that we must inform you of a matter of concern. Several of the Society's patrons, particularly among the more sensitive members of our community, have found Miss Forsyth's paintings to be of highly disturbing nature. We have received numerous complaints, with mothers remarking that the artwork has caused distress to their children, and some ladies reported feelings of unease. There is a growing sentiment that the pieces are unsuitable for public exhibition, particularly in the space frequented by young and impressionable minds. It is with the utmost respect and consideration that we kindly request your ladyship to arrange for the removal of Miss Forsyth's paintings from the current display. We understand that this may cause disappointment, but we feel it is necessary to preserve the decorum and sensibilities of our gallery's visitors. We would be honoured to work with you in finding a more appropriate venue to exhibit Miss Forsyth's art, where her unique vision can be appreciated by a more discerning and prepared audience. We trust you will understand our position in this delicate matter, and we look forward to hearing from you at your earliest convenience. The deepest respect, yours faithfully, Sir Arthur Wellesley, Secretary of the Westland Society of Fine Arts. That was in 1923. So, 3 years after she died?
It seems Elodie had a passion for art, but her style wasn't exactly well received. Disturbing from the looks of it.
Now the question, left or right? I feel like we go right. Oh, that's not eerie at all.
A blue moon, fitting for a place haunted by its own secrets. Looks like the Countess left this for me. It could be useful for getting around the place.
How do we use it? And what button? Oh. It doesn't really help that much. Follow the trail of green lights to escape past events. Like this one?
A globe resting in a beautiful wooden stand.
That it is. My lady, I would kindly ask that once the midday service is complete, you grant me a few moments of your time in the library. Joan Merver, your housekeeper. Oh.
So, the housekeeper left a note for the Countess, asking her to meet here on the day of the murder. I wonder what truly happened during that encounter. Very well. Let's piece the events together, step by step. Two chairs. One of them knocked over. The housekeeper's cup is still here. Tea spilled across the table. She never got to drink it. Looks like someone arranged tea in the library that day. An empty envelope. Did the housekeeper hand the Countess a letter? Lipstick stains. Same shade the Countess wore when she visited my office. It seems they met here. But something went wrong during the conversation.
I am very angry. After all these years of service, this is how you repay me? Walking away like this?
I'm sorry, madam, but the situation has become unbearable. My bags are already packed.
Huh. Oh.
Looks like this is the Fordside family book, showing some of their ancestors.
Move the cursor to the edge of the screen. Wait. Do they to point a certain direction? There's a puzzle in this, but I'm not sure how.
The Fordside family crest, a rampant dragon, a time-honoured symbol across European heraldry, particularly among the English and the Welsh. The lock has been concealed. This door must open by some other means. The Countess threw the housekeeper out in a fit of rage. In her haste, the housekeeper forgot one of her bags. What was it that unsettled the housekeeper enough to abandon her post so suddenly?
Is the house haunted?
This painting, it's rather grim. There's something deeply unsettling about it. Almost like it carries a shadow of its own.
I wonder if there's like a hint. Oh. Wait. The book's got something to do with it, but I'm not sure.
Lady Fordside, still seething, burned something in the fireplace.
My lady, I have reached a decision. Though it weighs heavily upon my heart to sever the ties that have long bound me to this household since the reign of King William IV, my family has served Bloomsbury with unwavering loyalty and steadfastness, marked by discretion and a faithful execution of our duties. However, there are limits to all things, and as of late, and of late, this house has been frequented by certain individuals whose presence is wholly at odds with the principles to which my lineage is so devoted. It is no coincidence that our family motto is Oblatus, signifying something offered or consecrated. We are vassals of an ideal, the custodians of the most deep-rooted traditions and the bastions of the eternal values of our nation. This house has forsaken all of this, and you well know the reason why. Please do not concern yourself. I, too, understand why you have allowed this. Rest assured, I do not judge you harshly, just as I hope you'll understand my reasons. As my family says, Master. Okay.
The housekeeper resigned. Seems something, or someone, troubled her greatly. Enough to break the long-standing family tradition tying her to this place.
I wonder. It has something to do. I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. He's looking at that, right? Okay. And then which lady was it? Eleanor. Okay, not her, but there's music. Okay, so she looks at the music. Ah, okay. And he looks at the globe. Okay. And then she looks at the correct. And then I'm not sure what you're looking at.
This must have been some sort of private study for the Countess. This looks like the key to the main hall. Could be my way into the heart of the house.
Lovely.
Lady Margaret and a young woman. I suppose it's Elodie. They look happy. It was undoubtedly a better time.
Lady Margaret Fordside, I'm writing to you as the attending physician of Ward 2 to provide an update on your daughter Elodie's progress. It is with great pleasure that I report her notable improvement. Elodie now confides that she's no longer experiences dark thoughts. Most importantly, the nightmares have subsided and she's begun to communicate more amicably with her fellow patients, a crucial step in her recovery. Elodie has asked me to relay a request that she would like you to bring her amber necklace when you visit this Sunday. I will continue to keep you informed of her progress. Oh, so she was in an asylum. Wow.
Elodie was committed to a psychiatric facility. But she supposedly recovered from whatever ailed her. A British passport. Lord Fordside was undoubtedly a man of the world. An old pocket watch. It probably belonged to Lord Fordside, Lady Margaret's husband.
Don't think there's anything else in here. Lovely.
It seems Lord Fordside was a renowned sculptor, though his works were somewhat sinister.
Somewhat. Okay.
Here lies Elodie. Rest eternally, beloved daughter, beneath the tree that once watched you grow. So this is where Elodie is buried. This door is locked as well. If the Countess wanted me to investigate, why didn't she leave the doors open? Layers of dried oil paint, left untouched for 20 years. It's as if time stopped the moment Elodie laid down her brush. Feels like the room's holding its breath, waiting for something to stir. A grand ship on the open sea. The sinking of a ship. Looks like the last painting Elodie was working on was of a ship at sea. The whole gallery is filled with maritime references. She seemed quite obsessed with it. A man with his back turned, watching a ship go down. This door appears to lead out to the back garden. Locked with a padlock. I'll need to find the key.
Lots of things are locked.
Looks like some sort of clue.
Trace the tree's journey
Trace
from...
the tree's
Oh.
journey from birth to decay. Follow the path of the artist in a thoughtful display. Arrange the 4 stages and the door will obey. Unlock the path ahead as art lights your way.
Trace the tree's journey from birth to decay. Follow the path of the artist in a thoughtful display. Okay. Arrange the 4 stages and the door will obey. Unlock the path ahead. Is this the clue to the heads? 'Cause I already worked that out. But no, because then we wouldn't have got the key to come into here. My lady, I must confess never before has anyone requested something of this nature from me. I believe I'm capable of the task, but I must inform you that it will require significant sum. Certain parts will need to be specially crafted in the city, and I must first commission the necessary plans. What you are asking for is a piece of intricate engineering, but rest assured there will be no more ingenious way to restrict access to certain areas of the house. If it pleases you, I propose to delineate the spaces as follows. Area A is the private quarters, B, guest quarters, C, kitchens and servants' quarters. I provided a sample mechanism for Area C. Adhering to your original concept, I would greatly appreciate a prompt response so that I may proceed with ordering the remaining mechanisms. Thomas Blacksmith. Huh.
Lady Margaret took special care to secure the house, restricting access to certain areas.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Have we been given a code yet? I don't think we have. I am a little bit lost. Oh, wait, there's... Okay, so maybe there's a mechanism somewhere here that we can have a look at. I don't know what the code is. I must say, I'm mighty confused. I am just a tad lost. I don't quite understand. There's something about the art, right? Trace a tree's journey from birth to decay. Follow the path of the artist in a thoughtful display. Is there something about these? I don't. There's area A. Okay. Private quarters. Without a clue, I don't really know. Wait, didn't I pick up another key? Did that not be here? No, I can't go through there. Anything to do with the tree? Doesn't look like it. Gotta be missing something here. Like, I've gotta be missing something. And I betcha I've like walked past it multiple times. I don't see any numbers. I don't, I don't know. I literally don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Am I walking past? I gotta be walking past a clue. Can I get a hint? Someone give me a hint. Is it their ages? How many numbers do I need? Is it 5 or is it 6? 5. Wait. The paintings of the trail, right? Hmm. So where are we in this one? There's a boat. I don't know if it's sinking in that one. I don't know what's happening in that one. That one is of a boat. Okay, that boat's sinking. I don't have any idea. I don't have any idea. Like literally. Does it have anything to do with like, I don't know, candles or something? Like the different groups of candles? That's 4, that's 4. And then there's candles down here. I don't know if it's the candles or the code. Mentions trees. I'm at a bit of a loss. Oh wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. Did I just waste the last 15 minutes? I feel like oh god. Please don't make fun of me. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Some of these paintings are really dark and sinister.
So now we're the trees. The trees.
A young woman screaming in the middle of the darkness.
Okay, that's like a middle-aged tree. That's a dead tree. Gotta be another painting here somewhere. One more of a tree.
Those poor souls. Tragedy seems to have cast a long shadow over this family.
Okay, so that's... Wait, is this the other tree? What do we got? Oh, there we go. That one. It was 4, right? 4 paintings of trees? Which would mean that this one here is the next one. And this would be the last one. Why is everything in here gotta be spoopy?
Looks like a commercial seaman's yearbook, listing ships and their crews. It's open to the pages under S.
Oh.
Damn it, it's not here. It's simply not here.
This must be the Countess's handwriting.
What was she searching for?
Yes, what was she searching for? Yeah, we got a metronome.
This looks like Elodie's diary.
Let's see what her last entries reveal.
I'm absolutely over the moon. Walter has written to say he is coming. I met him at the Western Sanatorium, and we have grown so very close. He was there recovering from the trauma of a shipwreck, where he tragically lost his companions. By sheer luck, he was rescued, but not before spending an entire year on an island living amongst the natives. He truly is an adventurer.
She met a guy at the asylum. I doubt he was... Seriously doubt he was like some super duper adventurer.
I'm so happy. Walter has finally arrived. I must admit, I am utterly captivated by him. I invited him to visit, and he gave me his word he wouldn't fail to come as soon as he was able to leave. And now he's finally here. I can scarcely contain my joy. It feels as though all the darkness has faded away.
They looked so in love. So happy. I wonder what became of Walter after Elodie died.
Tis true, that is what we're trying to find out. I think this is a good place to leave this one. I didn't want to do it in multiple episodes, but it is what it is. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's spoopy, very spoopy, but I'm enjoying the story so far. Please disregard my 10 to 15 minutes of not realizing I had a key to open the door, but that's what's fun about games. You get to like play them fresh. They're not ruined by like walkthroughs and guides and stuff. Yeah, but I'm gonna be posting more regularly. I appreciate everyone who has been around. We're back, and if you haven't already and you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.